Good people, and maybe not so good people. It's all up to you. It is your boys back in the building. Your monarchy of professional wrestling. Your boy Cool McCain. And I'm joined as always that way. Yeah, camera be playing with me that way. My boy, the playmaker. Playmaker, what is good?
What's up? Hope y'all had a good weekend. Been a nice chill week in the world of wrestling for once.
Nice chill weekend for once.
Nice chill weekend for once.
Okay. So I know there's a topic that we're gonna be talking about. And why wait? Why not set it off? What is going on with Miss Jimmy Uso?
So we're gonna call her Miss Jimmy Uso. Now the fact that she's the women's world heavyweight champion.
For about another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, Naomi, the unconspicuous absent from Raw. Speculation has been roaming around. The main one being she may be in the Becky Lynch position of being pregnant Raw champion. And that's been the main one because when I did my TikTok, that thing went so viral. I was like, what got dog? Not the fact that I ain't put the caption in correctly. Some people say she had an accident with a scooter or something, and she's injured. Like when WWE tells you you pull a superstar off and you don't get a specific injury, something's wrong with that picture.
Well, and also to add to that, why did you all of a sudden end up doing that episode with Stephanie McMahon, your husband, on her show, all out of the blue? And we've got snippets of that, but I haven't seen one very important piece yet. You know what that piece would be, sir? Why she won't.
There's a certain part of that episode though that she did say if she was to have a child, she can step away and do so because of how the women's wrestling is in today's era.
Yes, she did, but she would not confirm it, or at least they didn't release a part of her confirming it yet, which makes sense because you want to save that quote unquote worst kept secret in professional wrestling, or that shock for the Raw this week. I mean, everything's falling in place. All you gotta do is read the tea leaves. She had an undisclosed medical reason why she couldn't compete last week. She did the episode with Stephanie and her husband. Now it got announced she's gonna be on Raw this week with the state of the women's division, with something about the title. So we already know she's giving it up. Why would she be giving the title up in the middle of a run?
But most people consider her best run.
I was just about to say, arguably her best run ever. I like her TNA run too, but she never really got many major runs before. So I love the way they built up that character over time and where she's at now. So, but tea leaves say that belt is going to be up for grabs at Clash at Paris. That's what the tea leaves say. In some possible multi-woman match or something like that. What do you think about that, sir?
Let's see, Clash in Paris is what, 2 weeks away? Yeah, I can see that happening. You gotta do something on short notice, so multi-woman match, I'm fine with that. on short notice.
I think that's the safest way to go in this type of situation. Any other thoughts? I mean, we can, of course, revisit this once we get closer to the show. But any other thoughts for our little opening talk about Naomi and Jey Uso shooting up the club? If you know what I mean.
No, just she's gonna be on Raw tonight. We should get the answers we've been waiting for.
Yeah, we should. And I mean, I feel like most people, we know what it is, but at the end of the day, we still have to hear it and confirm it, right? I don't think she would be making an announcement because she crashed a scooter, which some people say, happened. Not saying that it didn't happen or trying to diminish the fact that could have happened, but I don't think it would be going to this extent.
No,
if that's what it was.
And if she was actually injured, we would know the injury.
Right. The one injury we don't ever get the information for.
Y'all got to remember, we didn't even know Becky Lynch was pregnant.
Yeah. I don't think anybody knew.
I don't think we knew Oscar won a Money in the Bank briefcase. Becky Lynch took the briefcase. It was like, what the heck is going on here? Then all of a sudden on Raw, oh no, you thought you won the contract. No, you actually won the title. I'm pregnant. Whoa. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you can't ever kind of redo that again, right? That definitely caught people by surprise, and that was I thought it was a really good moment. But I don't think that's something that you can really do again. You wouldn't want to do that again. So you got to figure out a different way to kind of make this whole thing to work, so to speak.
So I give WWE credit on this one. When it comes to pregnancy, they do keep it private for the woman to make the announcement. They just don't come out.
That's true. We don't give them a lot, but we definitely got to give them that. Definitely got to give them that. All right, so yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit more about that once we get to Raw preview and all that. But just wanted to go ahead and kind of throw that out there for a quick second, let people kind of, see what's popping with that. And then shout out to this Real Wise Radio real quick, where you can see us. Well, or you can listen to us. If you are listening on Real Wise Radio, I'd say it well where you can listen to us, sir. Real Wise Radio, where you can listen to us, as well as if you would like to see your boys, just slide on over to either the Playmakers blog on YouTube or at Real Play Callers on YouTube or Shady Sports, or you know what? Just go to all of them. And
normally, this is what I'm going to do. Because today, our legendary wrestler of the week, it's going to be a fun one. Usually we don't give it away, but I'm going to give it away because I want y'all to put y'all favorite thoughts or moments into the chat until we get there. This week, we'll be talking about the late, great Eddie Guerrero. So, put your favorite moments, put your favorite things of Eddie Guerrero into the chat. That way we can bring them up when we get to our legendary wrestler of the week. Because we got to get Eddie Guerrero at some point in time. Why wait any longer? Right? So this week we'll get Eddie Guerrero. That's for later on. Now, NXTNA.
Before we get into that, if you are hearing this on any of the other platforms or seeing this on any of the other platforms, please ensure that you do visit Real Play Calls on YouTube, as well as Shady Sports Network on YouTube, as well as the Playmakers blog on YouTube. And like, share, hit the notification button, all those good things, so that you can be in the loop for all the products that you can get from these wonderful YouTube channels. All right, sir. All yours.
I did say it was a pretty chill week in wrestling, right?
Mm-hmm.
NXT, we kicked it. They kicked it off with your voluptuous cake match, sir, of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Nia Jax going against Lash Legend.
Cakes for days. Thick cakes, power cakes. Thick cakes for days.
So we go ahead and get the cake session in place right now. They thought about Kuma Ken when they did this match.
And I appreciate them thinking about me when they did this match. It's nice to be thought about.
Two powerful women going back and forth. Even at one point, Lash Legend was trying to put Nia Jax through the announce table. But Nia Jax hit 2 annihilators and put Lash Legend away for the dub.
I like the fact that it took quite a bit to put Lash Legend away. I kind of get a little disappointed when you have people come from the main roster and fight and it's like an easy match. Like the whole goal in Nia Jax being in NXT is to try to help, boost people so you can win the match. Not worry about that. Like we kind of know who's gonna win the match. Like you know who's gonna win that match 9 times out of 10. But sometimes it can be how you win or lose the match. I thought they did a good job of building Lash Legend in this match, even though she lost. And casually speaking, amazing.
I can't believe I'm going to join this conversation in this regard, but pink looks good on Lash Legend.
Every color looks good on Lash Legend.
Okay, yeah. But, I mean, what she had on Tuesday was like, okay.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you.
It was something different. That's all I'm saying.
It was. And an ode to the person who made the pink popular. If you weren't prepared and casually inclined properly, it could have gave you a heart attack. If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Darn you. All right. Our NXT Tag Team Champions, Hank and Tank. I don't know what to say about this one. Where did y'all idiots get the idea that Ava was telling y'all to go get Dark State? I'll come back to Dark State because it was in the main event, but
do we have to come back to Dark State?
Yeah, we do. That was in the main event.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I didn't put him in the main event. You did get Joe Hendry going against Charlie Dempsey. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Fatal Influence. One double champ Jesse James and Fallon Henley against Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice. Okay, cool. I'm finna step into your territory again, sir. If you don't mind.
More cakes. I do not mind, sir.
Fallon, anytime you want to rock your head like Lola Vice, feel free to do so because you looked good doing it, by the way. Even though you was trying to mock her, but you did look good doing it. Just saying. Just saying. Nevertheless, anything you want to say before I continue?
Anytime cakes are highlighted in a match, it's always a great thing. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Okay. I just enjoy Fallon Henley trying to mock Lola Vice. It was a nice scene to look at.
I just enjoy cakes, and cakes are used in different ways. It makes it even better.
Nevertheless, Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice got the dub. And the double champion JC Jane has a bit of a problem. Which Kuma can we get to when we get to TNA. Let me see how that worked out.
Yep, the TNA part of NXTNA. Once we arrive there and talk some emergence.
Now, Ava decided to do a certain thing to one Blake Monroe, which I don't feel comfortable with. So before NXT HEATWAVE, tomorrow there will be a face-to-face with Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace. Are we going to have security around?
Of course we are. So the Juggernaut's involved.
Because I don't think Jordan Grace want to talk.
She does not want to talk, sir. At least she doesn't want to talk with her mouth. She wants to talk with her hands.
So I don't feel good for Blake Monroe. Keep her safe at all costs. Until Sunday. Sunday, I can't do nothing about it. It's an official match. Yes, I sound like Adam Pearce.
I also meant to say earlier, but I forgot, it's always nice to see Kalani's cakes because we don't always get an opportunity to see them. So just want to throw that out there. Single layer fluff cakes matter too.
Okay, so we had involves Kendall Gray take on Apple Fire, and Apple Fire won.
Why not? It was somebody from Evolve. If she didn't beat them, like who's she gonna beat?
And then we get to the main event. Dark State, all 4 members against the TNA heavyweight champion, Trick Williams. Also from TNA, Moose on the system, Javon Evans, the young OG, and the NXT ruler.
Who?
Oba Femi.
Who?
At one point, I actually thought the non-cohesive team was actually going to win this match because at one point, Moose and Obafemi gladly threw Javon Evans on top of Dark State. And then they voluntarily, gladly threw Trick Williams over to Dark State. And by the way, Trick Williams landed. He landed on his feet. Maybe it's a little more athleticism in Trick Willie than we might have known.
Whoop that trick.
But nevertheless, the more cohesive unit, Dark State, got the win in the main event. That's why I had to bring him back up, sir. And then the tag team champions decided to come out and fight Dark State, which was like 4 against 2, which is stupid.
Well, you don't want to know my thoughts on our champions, do you? So
feel free, because that's how NXT ended. So you're free to say whatever.
It's not worth it.
He said, he sat there, looked around, was like,
yeah, it's not worth it.
I would do it, but no, I can't.
It's not worth my time. All right, so we're gonna move over to TNA Emergence. Had a couple of countdown matches. Indy Hartwell defeated Rosemary. Big whoop. We also had Moose wish Sami Callihan the best of what could be his final match. We had the hometown man defeat Ryan Nemeth. I think Media and Playmaker could beat Ryan Nemeth in a partner that's not his brother at this point. They really don't care anything about him. Okay, then the actual show starts. We have the first match is a X Division Championship match. We have Leon Slater, who just won this championship for Moose, against Cedric Alexander. He did the Swanton 450, and after doing the Styles Clash, and that is how he defeated Cedric Alexander. As expected, it's too soon. I hated that they put Cedric Alexander in that position because I actually do like Cedric Alexander, but hey, it is what it is. There's a backstage interview. Trick Willie in First Class. Of course, they were confident heading into the main event match. Jim Miller did that interview. Next match on the card, Matt Cardona against Mustafa Ali of Order 4.
Ooh.
Matt Cardona beat Mustafa Ali.
What?
Yeah, he did. The Great Hands, of course, got involved. They tried to send him into a DDT from Ali. He countered it and to a pinning roll-up and got the win. So he beat Mustafa Ali, who hasn't done anything in TNA since he lost the X Division Championship. And it shows you that Matt Cardona is higher on the pecking order. And that right there, as the young people say, is definitely crazy work. Of course, Cardona got jumped, and an assistant came to his aid, and they were in action next.
The system?
The system. Yeah, because, his buddy, Zack Ryder. I mean, not Zack Ryder, but Brian Miters is part of the system. So Brian Miters and Eddie Edwards had a match against First Class, which, of course, only has 2 members remaining because they kicked the other one out. AJ Francis and Rich Swann defeated the system. Francis won with the down payment, which AJ Francis delivered. Shout out to AJ Francis, by the way, too. He's taking what he's given. He's making it work.
You gotta give him that.
Yeah. So I had a couple of injuries that we got some news on. Trey Miguel has a hernia injury. Casey Navarro has a dislocated knee. That's why he got, quote unquote, kicked out of the First Class. He'll probably be back and join again. And then Moose had a hip injury, but he got cleared. Ironically, he just had a match on, Tuesday. So he gets cleared. But there you go. Trying to pretend like it's 2 different shows. I don't know why they're playing with us. All right, now we have the career match: Mike Santana versus Sami Callihan, and Mike Santana hit the spin the block to win the match and retire Sami Callihan.
Didn't I tell you?
I didn't think he was ready to retire. I hadn't heard anything about him wanting to retire, so I told you if I heard something, I maybe go for it. Okay, I mean, congratulations, sir. You saw something I didn't. I feel like Sami had a lot left, but he was emotional, left his boots in the ring. And basically that means you're retiring from in-ring competition. But then I looked at Sami Callihan. I was like, yeah. If I had just looked at him, I probably would say he's retiring. Because Sami looks like he's done. Eric Young tried to get at Sami Callihan in the back. But of course, came to his aid. Ryan Nemeth got mad when he got asked about losing his match and said that him and his brother still have their contractual tag team championship rematch. That's cute. So we had a Knockouts Tag Team Championship 4-way match. We had the Elegance brand, Heather and M by Elegance. Then we had the Inspiration, Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay. We had Fatal Influence, Fallon Henry and Jasmine Nix, and Zaya Brookside and Lee Ying Lee. So a fatal 5-way match, excuse me.
Yeah, I know a lot of names. I know.
And the Elegance brand won. They are still tag team champions.
You sound so enthusiastic about that.
I know one person will be even happier than me, Mr. Cole Johnson himself. Indy Hartwell doesn't want a tag team partner. She wants the TNA Knockouts Championship. That's her focus. All right, next at Emergence, we had Steve Macklin with one of the better looking championships in all of wrestling, if you ask me. The TNA International Championship looks better than the World Championship, if you ask me. Versus Jake something, who already wrestled on the pregame show as Mr. Hometown. If you know, you know.
Really?
If you know, you know. From everything I've heard, that's who Mr. Hometown Hero is. All right, Steve Macklin beat Jake something. Steve Macklin is still your international champion. Still has that championship. Congratulations to him. TNA World Tag Team Champions. The Hardys. Matt and Jeff against the Rascals. Zachary Wentz. And then we had to have Myron Reed fill in because of the injury to Trey Miguel. And, of course, the Hardys beat Zachary Wentz and the guy who's not his real partner.
But they put up a hell of a fight, though.
We had a worthless segment, really, where they had the first class penthouse, and the Ravens mascot came out because they were disrespecting the Ravens with the system with him, who should be bad guys. So I don't know what's going on there. Whatever. Then, y'all, it's time for the main event. In one corner, one of my NXT faves, Mr. Whoop That Trick.
What?
Yeah. Against one of my TNA wrestling favorites. Moose. Are you ready? And only one man could win. Well, as me and Playmaker both knew, if Trick is going to lose their championship anytime soon, it's going to be 2-1 Mike Santana. I think Moose did a good job in the match, but at the end of the day, Trick and A is still in effect.
What a shame.
Trick had to hit Moose with 3 trick shots to get the pin, but he got the pin. So Trick Willie is still your reigning and defending TNA World Heavyweight Champion. A couple of comments here. We got Daniel Berry in the building as always. Says happy Monday. Hey everyone. What's up, DB? Appreciate you hopping in and chopping it up with us. And then one of our loyal listeners, as well as sometimes a contributor, Shalonda Williams. She says, hey guys, what I missed. Just got off work, listening in the car. I'll let Playmaker fill you in there. Doesn't look like Playmaker's in the mood to fill in. We just talked about NXT. Then we start off a little brief talk about Naomi. And also, then you know, as Playmaker did everyone else that was on earlier, our legendary wrestler of the week is going to be Eddie Guerrero. So definitely drop your favorite moments, favorite promo or whatever about Eddie Guerrero in the comments. This is one that Playmaker was very excited to do. So
I ain't the only one. Don't even try that.
This is one that Playmaker was very excited to do. So we're doing it. He's more excited than I am. I'm not saying I'm not excited, but he's more excited than I am.
You try to throw me on Front Street. I can't believe you.
I'm not even trying to throw you on Front Street. You was excited to do this one. Did I tell a lie at all? Did I say one thing there that was untrue?
You know.
Your boy.
It's been Eddie Guerrero for whatever reason, it's been like the reek of Eddie Guerrero for whatever reason. And I'm like, you might as well just do Eddie Guerrero. Like, you can't get away from it. It's like a sign was saying, yeah, you might want to go ahead and do Eddie Guerrero.
So basically, what Playmaker is saying is that me saying that he's more excited to do Eddie Guerrero is not cool. And this is how you feel about things that aren't cool.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Yeah, I do enjoy when I can slide that one in there. I do enjoy when I can
put me on Front Street. How dare you? You got me over here sound like Cole Johnson now.
All right, it's time for a commercial break, y'all.
Rams fans all around the world.
It's a beautiful thing to be a Rams fan right now. Stafford's back. We're going to see about Cup. And running back Kerryon Williams to return.
Lend me your ears, or should I say lend Playmaker your ears, as he breaks down week by week everything in the Los Angeles Rams canon.
Number 99, Aaron Donald. Can't wait for 2029 to come to know that you are going in the Hall of Fame, and it should be first ballot, no questions asked.
Join the Playmaker as he breaks down everything Los Angeles Rams style in Ramily Talk on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts. Whether it's the men's college game,
The way that this season has been going, yeah, anything is possible.
the women's college game,
And how passionate Angel Reese was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
the WNBA,
AJ Wilson on Twitter 1 and 2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young.
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts. Hey, Eagles fan, join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast, every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
All right, Playmaker. Got two options. I'm going to let you choose, sir. We can do AEW first, or we can do Eddie Guerrero first.
AEW.
AEW. All right. So we're going to slide on in then. And we're going to talk about AEW. So AEW's had a bit of a running storyline here with this premature breakup. I mean, it's obviously coming, but this premature breakup of MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. And what it's done is it's kind of made MJF a dangerous man because a cornered man, a man with no allies, can be dangerous. But, and what I'm going to go ahead and throw out there as my moment of the week, since we're already talking about it. Hangman Adam Page, who is known as a drunkard hothead, did a masterful job of goading MJF into
That man said goading MJF.
going ahead and cashing in his contract. So at the next pay-per-view, you have MJF in the championship match at Forbidden Door. But it will be because MJF executed his contract that he won. The things that Hangman said, I'm not gonna go through everything, but some of the things that he said, he called MJF an edgelord B-level movie villain.
Damn.
He did this thing about calling Hangman Seabiscuit. So Hangman wanted to remind him that Seabiscuit actually won in the end. So maybe that's not best when you're trying to insult people. The crowd egged on MJF and told him he was a coward. MJF called Hangman a god and then said he was a false god. And then he really got MJF hot. So it was a good start to the show. If you didn't have a Cheetah segment, I would recommend it because MJF has cashed in his contract. Oh, he was hot about that. He was not happy that he got goaded into that. He realized it too late. He'd already said he would do it, so it was too late, so he got to go ahead and execute it. But it was a great way for Hangman to be shown as a cerebral guy as champion, not just a guy that won because he had 80 people help him. All right, Jon Moxley had a match with Kevin Knight. Let's be honest. Jon Moxley's going to win that match 10 times out of 9. So Jon Moxley won the match, but Kevin Knight, pushed him to the limit. You know how that goes. Willa Yuna and Marina Shafir started to beat down Speedball Bailey and Kevin Knight after the match. Darby Allin makes the save. He tries to put Willa Yuna in the body bag again. He does get him in there, but then Claudio Castagnoli comes out and begins to, for the sake of the show being, family friendly, took him to the woodshed out behind it and took care of business. Or as good old JR would say, he walked a mud hole in him and stalked it dry.
So beat him.
Will Ospreay returned to save Darby Allin. So what?
So beat him with an inch of his life.
What is that?
Beat him with an inch of his life.
Not that close, but he was giving him a pretty good beating. Will Ospreay returned and made the save on Darby Allin, and he challenged the Death Riders to a lights out steel cage match in London.
Lights out steel cage match.
Mm-hmm. It may even close out the show.
What's up with all these
Moxley
lights out
show Kevin Knight. Overdoing things unnecessarily, in my opinion.
They have a thing with these lights outs.
They do. They like lights out. All right, so of course Darby Allin is on Ospreay's team. Ospreay also has Hiroshi Tanahashi with him. The Stereo Assassin also asked Renee Paquette to ask her husband for a sit down. So then the found the Young Bucks in the back. So we found that it's going to be Moxley, Castagnoli, Gabe Kidd, and the Young Bucks against Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, and Tanahashi. So the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi will be in that match. You don't know who the Golden Lovers are? Look it up. Woman match. Mercedes, Tekla, and Sky Blue against Alex Windsor, Queen Aminata, and the Willow. Sky Blue tapped out. Timeless Tony Storm and Alex Windsor.
That's very surprising.
Yeah, Sky Blue tapped out. Mercedes Moné got taken out. And then Tony Storm challenged Monet and Athena to a tag team match against her and Alex Windsor in Scotland this Wednesday. So they Scotland. So people are like, oh, it's surprising that Monet lost this match. They didn't lose the match. She got taken out, her partner tapped out. So, I mean, it counts as a loss, but it doesn't really count as a loss. You feel me? It was kind of interesting. Yeah, Will Nightingale actually did end up giving Mercedes Monet a pounce, and it was quite the pounce. So Cope got what he wanted. He started beating up Stokely. FTR came out, and of course, that started brawl, and it negated the restraining order that they have against Edge. So now Edge can come around them again. Christian Cage made the save, and then Edge hugged him. And of course, Cope won the match by disqualification as well. So he got a win, and he got it lifted. All right, then we had Don Callis. Just say that the conglomeration team won. And let's leave it at that. So Swerve does admit that he's out next. He does admit that he has a knee injury, but he doesn't care. He's still going to be going at Kazuchika Okada for the I'm going to make sure I call it the right thing because they have so many belts. The Unified Championship, yeah. They have a lot of belts over there. Even though they made 2 into 1, they still have like maybe not 35 anymore, maybe just like 30 now. So yeah, there's that. We had the Ops face the Fashion Ingobernable. This version of the Ops is Samoa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, and Powerhouse Hobbs. This version of La Faction Ingobernable, who's had about 4 different versions, is Roosh, the Beast Mordos, and Dralistico. And Dralistico passed out to a Coquina clutch. That's about all to say about that. It wasn't a really good match, but it pushed along some stories, but definitely I don't think it was a main event. But the actual main event was MJF attacked Hangman Page in the parking lot and told him he's going to make his life a living HE double hockey sticks heading into Forbidden Door. So we're going with the whole cornered caged animal that feels pressed in is the most dangerous. So we'll be seeing a lot more of MJF. You, of course, will be without the Hurt Syndicate as they've moved on and they're no longer thinking about MJF. And if he does get a championship, they're probably going to try to kill him. But he's there. Let's see. Got a couple of comments here. So Yolanda's moment, we'll go ahead and throw it out there. She says, I cheat, I steal. I mean, that whole gimmick was definitely moment filled. Key is in the building. She says, what's up, Cool and Playmaker? What up, Key? What it does and what it do. Yolanda says, how many belts does she actually have? 7 or 8. So I say she has 7 because one of them is the Owen Hart Championship belt, and I really don't count that as a belt. So I say she has 7. But kayfabe did count it, so she has 8. But I say 7. To Yolanda's question. Yolanda did ask how many belts does Mercedes Moné actually have? For those of you who listen on radio or on
a plethora.
See things. But a lot of belts. Definitely a lot of belts. All right. So Playmaker. I believe it's that time, sir. I believe it's that time. But before we do that, let's slide in a couple of quick commercials here. We're going to come back and like DMX, Eddie, and Latino Heat Guerrero. I'll give it to you.
Whether it's news, The largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant. Weather. Devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States. Inspiration. A breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson, live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on YouTube and where you can find podcasts. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, No, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
All right, good people. The building, we back in. So it's time to get to it. It's time. Legendary wrestler of the week time. Eddie Guerrero. Playmaker. Take it away, sir.
Eddie Guerrero, a highly talented and celebrated professional wrestler, known for his technical skills, charisma, and engaging storytelling in the ring. The native from El Paso, Texas, in the year 1967. If you know Eddie Guerrero, you was able to follow Eddie Guerrero, you know him from his time in WCW. When you had Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, Juventud Guerrero. So now y'all don't remember, do y'all? And as a matter of fact, growing up, Juventud was my guy. I don't know about you, but I was a Juventud fan.
You was down with a jabroni named Juventud?
Juventud. Juventud was that dude before Rey Mysterio was that dude. Am I lying?
Not to you. You're not lying to yourself. You believe that.
We is talking about WCW, okay? Ain't talking about overall. But Eddie Guerrero, it wasn't until he was in WWE when he started to really ascend to the top.
As a member of what faction there, sir?
The LWO.
Just for you guys that may not remember. And then after a while, WCW on the LWO, and they basically transformed them into the Filthy Animals. And I can't say that I would blame anyone after that happening to me for saying, I'm going to leave and go to the competition. They basically had them with Master P and his boys, and they were called the Filthy Animals. Conan, basically almost everybody from the LWO that was still left at the company. Digress, but I just had to throw that out there. It was definitely a dark time.
Eddie Guerrero was a multi-time WWE Tag Team Champion. He was a United States Champion. But the one people will remember the most is him reaching the mountaintop. No Way Out 2004. Where he beat the Beast Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. Back when Brock didn't lose much.
Back when you was afraid to actually stand across from Brock. This Brock that you see is a calm. I showed when I felt like Brock. Brock back then, Brock was seeing red. You did not want to stand across from that guy. That's actually, that match is probably the most memorable match for people when it comes to Eddie Guerrero. Because guys like Eddie Guerrero was not considered top guys.
No, nowhere near it.
And I'm going to bring a name up that might strike people might strike people in some type of way, form, or fashion.
It shouldn't.
It was the same night when Chris Benoit became the World Heavyweight Champion.
And they embraced. It was a feel-good moment. And I got to stop right here. I knew we would get to this point, so I just got to stop right here, and I got to say this. For all of you wrestling fans who have glizzy globbed Terry Bollea, aka Hulk Hogan, on his death and said, "Oh, all the stuff off, the ring, outside the ring, it doesn't take away from the character." We have to say the same thing then for Chris Benoit. We have to say the way his life ended, that's tragic, terrible. That's not something you ever want to hear or be a part of. But we have to stop picking and choosing who we say we're going to separate you away from the ring with your in the ring and who we don't. If we're going to do it, we need to blanketly do this and say, let's give the props to the due to Chris Benoit, the wrestler. Chris Benoit, the man, we found out at the end, was garbage. But the wrestler was a darn good wrestler, the Rabbit Wolverine. And we're basically removing him from everything because of what he did. Again, not taking away from the tragedy, and yeah, it was terrible, but that happened outside of wrestling. That's my soapbox for the evening, y'all. It ain't even that bad, but that's my soapbox for the evening.
I have nothing to add on that. But
I've
yes,
been holding.
I'm pretty sure you thought about when I said we was going to do Eddie Guerrero.
I've been holding for like a month.
Oh, so you... Oh, you've been holding it ever since Mr.
Yes, sir.
Hogan passed. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, in No Way Out closed when you see Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit holding up their titles, confetti's pouring down. I forgot what that was. Was that in Pittsburgh?
I can't remember where it was at. But it was a great moment.
That was one of the greatest moments that's always remembered in WWE. That moment right there. Known for his persona or catchphrase of lie, cheat, and steal. If y'all want to know why I enjoyed the AJ Styles Dominic Mysterio match so much, because that's pretty much what they was doing. They paid homage to Eddie Guerrero. I would like to know who idea was that, by the way. Who came up with that idea? Because that was a great idea for SummerSlam.
I loved AJ Styles though, just because that was more unexpected. Right? We're not expecting that Dom will come out and kind of honor Eddie Guerrero. But AJ Styles doing it, that was dope.
Low ride and everything. Especially known for the low rider.
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero made driving a low rider cool.
Yeah.
The Latino heat. We can talk about his time when he was sweet talking the ninth wonder of the world, China.
Mamacita.
Being the Latino heat.
Latino heat.
Eddie was a character that everybody loved watching.
Yeah.
When you saw Eddie Guerrero on your TV, you know you finna get something to make you smile or to make you laugh.
That's true. It's very true.
You want to know how those of you who are new to wrestling and trying to figure out where did all of this, and let me fake hit somebody with a chair and throw it to you and you catch it and you get caught with it. It started with Eddie Guerrero.
It did start with Eduardo Herrera.
And every time he did it, you laughed. Because it worked every time.
It did. It definitely did.
I remember somebody posted one of the people who cover wrestling. They posted his the one he did when it was him and Batista going against Eminem, and he swung and went for Mercury. Mercury ducked and he hit Batista. He looked at me. Why did you move? I'm like, if I'm Murray, I'm moving too. You ain't gonna bust me in the head with the chair. And when Batista started coming around, getting up, he tossed the chair to Mercury. Mercury caught it. And you pretty much can figure out what happened to Mercury after that.
Absolutely.
And Eddie that is laid there like he got hit with a chair. He just coming around.
Man, if I made it, that's what I'm doing too. I ain't mad at him for that. It's kind of smart. Muy inteligente.
Eddie was great, man. Eddie was a character. You know how people rave about Bray Wyatt and the character that he was. That was Eddie Guerrero for us when we was growing up. That was Eddie. You just want to see what crazy stuff Eddie Guerrero was finna do next. And watch somebody get in trouble for it. And he just in the background laughing. Go back to how the match ended between AJ Styles and Dom Mysterio. You know where that match came from? Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle. Losing the boot because he knew Kurt Angle wanted to go for that ankle lock. Step out of the boot, roll Kurt Angle up to retain the title. There's so many ways I can go Eddie Guerrero, but cool, you go ahead.
A big thing for Eddie Guerrero he was a guy that had a lot of things going on outside of the ring with like substances and different stuff like that, substance abuse. But you never could tell seeing him in the ring. He always gave you a magnificent performance, whether he was the first match on the card, whether he was champion, whatever he was doing. You always got a good match. You always had a fun time. You always got a lot of the things that made Eddie Guerrero, and you could always see him. And I, for one, feel like, man, we won't see another guy like that. Los Guerreros tag team with him and Chavo was amazing. the work with Chavo Classic, who he named Chavo Classic, Chavo's dad. You know, that was great work too. He's just a guy you could give him rotten lemons and he'll find a way to make at least some decent tasting lemonade out of it. And he was definitely one of those guys along with Chris Jericho and others, but those are two of the main ones I would say were definitely underused in WCW. And if they had sense enough to put them in the right spots, we may not be talking about WCW being part of WWE right now. They lost their good young talent to WWE, and Eddie Guerrero was one of those pieces with the Radicals. Shout out to all the guys that were in the Radicals: Perry Saturn,
Dean Malenko,
as well as Chris Benoit, because that was a good group, and they came together, man. They did a lot. I feel like for people seeing how good guys in WCW were outside of WCW, you know, because a big thing that a lot of people wanted to talk about was, WCW wrestlers only good because they're wrestling other WCW wrestlers. They're not really good. But when you saw what those guys did, you were like, oh, those guys are good. And you say what you want about the other people, but those guys, yeah, they're not playing. And it was fun for me to see. I enjoyed it. And I definitely enjoyed everything about Eddie Guerrero. I thought he was one of my favorites growing up. Top-notch guy. Did so much for, you know, the business. And I mean, look at the changes, bro. He went from the mullet to the short hair with the blonde streaks and everything. He got bigger as he went on his WWE career. But we be remiss, man, if we didn't talk about the impact his passing had on so many people. And I unfortunately like to think that this is getting a little serious here, y'all. So, you know, if you don't like it and get serious, I apologize. But I really think that had a lot to do with Chris Benoit's failing mental capacities was when he lost Eddie. You know, it hurt Chavo a lot, but even Chavo said that he thinks it hurt Chris even more than him. And
as a matter of fact,
it's very unfortunate.
I don't even think if Eddie wouldn't have passed, I don't even think Rey Mysterio would have had that run that he had in 06.
He would have had the run. But it might have been a little different. But Eddie was an entertainer, man. Just a raw entertainer, bro. He could entertain you.
And matter of fact, as that we saying that Dominic Mysterio is getting popular even as a heel, which is crazy to say. But you can thank Eddie Guerrero because that rivalry between him and Rey Mysterio for the cuss out Dom introduced Dom to wrestling.
Yeah, so when Dom says he's like a 20-year veteran, he's actually not lying. Crazy as it sounds, he's not lying.
But Eddie Guerrero, for me, I know most people probably say NWO and all, but when you looked at Eddie Guerrero, you didn't see Eddie Guerrero as a heel, even though his persona was a heel.
That's fair.
You didn't see him as a heel. You was just like, man, this is Eddie, bro. That's the Eddie being Eddie.
Latino heat.
Love Eddie Guerrero. It was very surprising when he passed in 05 out of nowhere. Are you talking about a death that shook the core of that roster? It was Eddie Guerrero. When I say everybody loved Eddie, everybody loved Eddie. Because if I remember correctly, I think he was feuding with Batista for the title. They literally, matter of fact, they dedicated that whole entire SmackDown show to Eddie Guerrero. You can say what you want about Hulk Hogan, Chris Benoit. You can say any wrestler that passed away. There was no show that was dedicated from start to finish like they did with Eddie Guerrero. That entire SmackDown was dedicated to Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, they did the whole opening for Hulk Hogan on SmackDown, Raw, and SummerSlam, but that entire SmackDown was all Eddie Guerrero.
The closest we got to that was Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
It's the gone too soon aspect that kind of puts it over the top for me, for him and Bray. But yeah, Eddie, man, that was tough.
So this week, we honor and remember the legend that was one Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat.
So shifting back. Oh man, I just saw a meme, y'all, that I got to talk about real quick. But first, we got a couple of comments. So Yolanda says Dominic said he didn't know AJ was going to do that. I believe that because that was a real shocker. It was a real shocker. Speaking of Dominic and AJ, for those of you who may or may not know, AJ is a diabolical hater as well as Seth Rollins. And I want to give him his props for the diabolical hatership. Dom had the AAA mega title won. Right? Awesome cheating. He put on his mask and put the metal plate in there and knocked everybody out with it. But AJ Styles stopped him from being able to get the pin, and that El Hijo Vikingo retained the title by hating on Dom, of course. Good job, AJ. If you're going to be a diabolical hater, be one of the best, and sir, you have proven to be one of the best.
I don't know if he's better than Seth Rollins at this moment in time, though.
I'm not saying he's better, but he's one of the best.
Because, darn.
So I saw this meme, right? This will lead us into Raw. It's Jacob Fatu. He says to Jimmy, I heard you went all gas, no brakes on Naomi's. So Jimmy says 5 letters, 1 word. Skeet. I had to share that with you, you good people.
Oh my gosh. Why is you coming across memes during the show? Is the question.
All I can tell you is I'm just chilling, and I look over and my phone was on Facebook, and that's what popped up, man.
5 letters for a word.
Ski. It's crazy.
Monday Night Raw, we kicked it off with the Second City Saints, CM Punk. Of course, on his quest to recapture the world title. Interrupted by the LA Knight for obvious reasons. You cost LA Knight his chance at the world title. Well, then the Vision comes out, and yes, they have officially been called the Vision. It is official now. By the way, Braun Breaker started to come into his own.
Seth Rollins having that fake injury really helped Braun Breaker.
His math was a little off though, but
that's Steiner math. That's Steiner math.
What you gonna do? You 40, and what are you? 42. Y'all 100 combined. I was like, wow. Braun he's becoming very likable here.
In the worst way possible.
But he's becoming likable.
He is.
This is great. And don't get me started on the schoolyard bully Bronson Reed.
The tribal thief in his shoe La Follow. That's hilarious, though. You have to admit it's hilarious.
It is hilarious. Now the question is, because we're not gonna see Roman. You gotta ask though, because we're not gonna see Roman for quite some time. Is he still gonna be snatching shoes from people, or it was just a Roman Reigns thing?
It's just a Roman Reigns thing because he can't be the tribal thief if he doesn't take it from the tribal chief. That's not a shoe of polish, it's just somebody's shoes. But after he gets through taping Street Fighter as Akuma, we will get Roman Reigns back. Perfect casting, by the way. About as perfect as Cody Rhodes being Guile. Which, oops, is probably why he's taking a break. Because he was on the set. We saw a picture of the shadow of Cody with the Guile hair. Throw that out there. Street Fighter guy, too. So throw that out there.
They're trying to make Street Fighter watchable. What can I say?
Oh, and 50 Cent is Ball Rod. You did.
They gotta do something because Mortal Kombat 2 comes out, and you know I'm going to see that. I don't know.
Mortal Kombat. I just need the original music. What I would like, what I'm begging and pleading is, I don't even care if it's not at some point in the game. The tournament started when everybody's fighting collage or whatever. I just need to hear Mortal Kombat. Do, 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 do. Mortal Kombat. We got to hear that. We've got to hear that. Just saying.
Back to opening up Monday Night Raw.
Yes, sir.
After all the I can't call them combatants because they weren't fighting yet. So what can I call them? All the participants in this promo. Finish got done talking. Adam Pearce shows up. Actually, no, I take that back. Adam Pearce did not show up. CM Punk said, you know what? How about me and LA Knight versus either two of y'all? Don't matter. Which, you know, LA Knight's like, bro, I did not. Don't need you to speak for me. You know, I really don't. Nevertheless, main event, the Bronze versus CM Punk and LA Knight. I just might call them the Bronze.
Wasn't that I think that was LA Knight, right?
Probably. But I might go with that. Speaking of Dirty Dominic Mysterio, he teamed up with a Grande Americano as they went against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee.
I like the fact that you said El Grande Americano. I support that.
It's freaking three of them.
At least.
Good gracious. The main one goes away, and we got multiples out of all of a sudden.
Hey, they might make Ilya Dragunov a fourth one.
Oh, no, please don't. Then again, he wasn't really getting up with the crowd anyway, so they might have to try something.
They presented him really weirdly. They just say he shows up when they say, hey, everybody like this guy. He's a great wrestler. He's awesome. And everybody was like,
Anyway, Mysterio and Grande Americano gets the win.
Not a shock.
Pissed off AJ Styles even more. Let's go back to your diabolical hate.
Mm-hmm. And that's why he got diabolical hated on. And Grande Americano was in that match as well. One of them was. El Grande Americano was in that match.
No, this ain't Grande Americano.
I know, but still, it's one of many.
Just to clarify, the same one that Team But Done was the same one that was in that AAA main event. The same one. The one, a different one.
That's the only one that actually wrestles. I just like to say El Grande or Monarchana because there's three of them. The other two don't wrestle.
By the way, there are some fans out there that said that either a Grande Americano or Dom Mysterio should have won that title. Do you agree?
No. And the reason I don't is because they can't go in and have every championship from every other show that they're part of, they win. They already got the AAA Tag Team Championships. Like, how many AAA belts? You want all the belts on Raw and SmackDown? Then these other shows need the belts to thrive. So I don't think that either one of them should have won it. I think one of them, and one already has, should be Intercontinental Champion. It's not devalue the AAA Championship by having guys that can't even win the World Championship. You know what I'm saying? Win that. Let's not do that.
I just want to get your thoughts on that. I've been seeing that go around.
I saw it.
Sami Zayn went up against Rusev based on what happened on the previous ball when he took a right hook from Rusev when Sheamus and Rusev was fighting all over the place. And our worst nightmare came to fruition, sir. I won't really call that nightmare, but you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. That's why I'm laughing.
The MFT showed up and cost Sami Zayn a match.
What a shocker!
Which will lead to me when I get into SmackDown. Io Sky went against Roxanne Perez. And again, Roxanne beat Io. Which led to some exchange of words between Io Sky and Asuka.
There was an exchange of words, yes.
Even though we don't know what the heck they were said.
We know Asuka got mad and stormed off.
And I need a fired up Asuka. Can y'all give me a fired up Asuka, please? Saved a pretty nice Asuka for outside of WWE. That way I can enjoy that side more. When it comes to WWE, I need a fire up and ticked off Asuka. I need her to be brought into the NXT Asuka when she start whooping everybody behind her. Where there is fear of you getting in the ring with her because you know she's finna brutalize you. And then Mommy had a 30-second cameo trying to talk to Io Sky, but Io wasn't trying to hear it. A lot of people didn't like that.
Can't make everybody happy. You gotta push the story on.
You cool with the 30-second cameo for Mommy?
We don't need to see. So the problem is, everyone knows I like Mommy. Everyone knows I think Mommy has great emo cakes and very voluptuous, muscular body and stuff. But you don't need to see her every week. It's okay to have certain people just like chill for a week. But I get you probably want to bring her in. She probably wasn't even really supposed to be there. But with the old Naomi situation, they heard to try to do something to, to kind of fill in for that or cover that up. But I don't really think we needed to see Mommy.
Becky Lynch went up against Maxine Dupree. I'm just going to leave it like that.
Yeah, we know won that.
And then the main event, the Bronze versus LA Knight and CM Punk. Punk and Knight got the dub via disqualification, thanks to Seth freaking Rollins, the world champion. But the Vision got the last word in. Because Aftermath Appeals came out and said that Seth Rollins is going to defend the World Heavyweight title at Clash of Paris against CM Punk. Against LA Knight. And Cool's personal favorite, against Jey Uso in a fatal 4-way match.
Yeet.
Which led to Punk and Knight getting the fight, which I agree with because CM Punk wanted for you, LA Knight wasn't being part of a fatal 4-way to begin with.
You're right.
Literally your fault.
Hospital.
You can see it that way too. Both sides can be right. Nevertheless, thanks to CM Punk, Adam Knight's in the Fatal 4-Way match. And then the Division took all three of them out.
As they should.
Laid them layering, and that's how Raw came off air. Over to SmackDown. We come over to SmackDown, and we have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss having fun as Alexa Bliss got ready to take on Piper Niven. Bliss gets the dub over Piper Niven, but sir, our Twisted Champions was left laying by the Hervis. I can accept it because we need to have somebody to step up to the Twisted Champions. Nevertheless, I don't. And why is Chelsea Green still ring leader? But shouldn't Chelsea Green be going out of some singles titles? That's my thoughts.
Well, she had one.
And she lost it, I know.
You know they don't give her another one no time soon.
We have the Mellow Dump Mids against Fashion. In the whole time of Carmelo Hayes, which was Boston, Massachusetts. And the Miz upstays Mellow by tagging in and getting the win. So Mellow don't miss. And Wade Barrett is condoning this. Speaking of tag team action, DIY versus the Street Profits. The Street Profits beat DIY, sir. And yet, I have a feeling that this tag team division is still going to be chaotic. And Nick is still going to have problems trying to control this tag team division in some form or fashion. Tiffany Stratton was backstage with Nick Aldis and Jay as Jay is trying to get a rematch. Nia Jax shows back up finally on SmackDown, and she wants a rematch. And Tiffany Stratton left them both looking stupid because she beat both of them and just walked away. I mean, when you're the champ, you can do stuff like that. Especially the two people who try to get at you, you're already beaten. Later on, Kiani James was authoring Julia's assistance to have Tiffany's back, and she said no. But Miss James put the champ on notice that if you're not with us, you're against us. And just because Julia is the United States champion does not mean she does not want a piece of that WWE championship. Speaking of which, that United States title for the women's. Meechim is back in the picture, and she's trying to get a crack at Julia. The MFTs had a comment. They opened the show, and they was talking, and then Sami Zayn came out. And we found out Sami Zayn is officially back on SmackDown. Which leads me to ask, who is on Raw then? Who got sent over to Raw from SmackDown? That's what I need to know.
You know who got sent over to Raw from SmackDown, sir? Don't even play. Think about it. Think about it. Who got sent over to Raw from SmackDown?
I've been thinking about it. I'm trying to figure it out.
He was in the main event on Raw.
I know you was gonna bring up LA, but remember we had that conversation 2 weeks ago. And he was like, "Oh, so they basically switched Logan Paul in LA Knight."
I don't think Logan Paul's really on SmackDown. I think he's just there with his buddy. I think LA Knight actually got switched for Sami Zayn.
So you saying that was the weird switch, and Logan Paul was just happy to go over to do whatever? Okay.
Yeah, Logan's just he'll be everywhere. Wherever he can piss somebody off, he'll be there. he's like a boil on your butt.
Now back to our quote unquote worst nightmare. Sami Zayn is no longer fighting for the top title. He's going for the United States title now.
It's not my worst nightmare.
This is a title he never held. This is a title he never held, so I kind of backed off on it all of a sudden.
He'll be back on Raw with the draft in a few months.
Probably.
He'll be back on.
But there is a title he never held, and that is the United States title. So okay, Sammy, you never held it. I'll let you go for it. I don't think you're going to succeed, but I'll let you go for it.
Definitely agree with that.
That led to him getting a beat down and Big Jim coming out there to say today he get a beat down, and then Jacob Fatu shows up, and then all of a sudden we get a 6-man tag match to main event SmackDown. Jacob Fatu, Big Jim, and Sami Zayn versus the MFT. Who at the MFT would not be fighting? That would be Tala Tonga. Let's make this a little interesting. Okay, what we doing here?
Right, because
Sami Zayn pins the United States champion for the second time on SmackDown. Man, that look on your face was like, I think I know where this is going now.
We already knew where this was going from the beginning when he came over. Let's go. Sami Zayn is going to be our United States champion sometime soon, and then Jacob Fatu is going to end up turning on him and beating the living dog poo out of him because he wants his belt back. So, and then Big Jim's going to be caught in the middle before he goes on paternity leave.
So that was SmackDown, and this week I don't have a moment of the week. I'm sorry, I don't have one.
It's all good. I already gave y'all mine.
I'd rather be upfront and honest than try to force something. I don't have a moment of the week.
It's 8:03. Just make sure you tune in everywhere you can see us, y'all. Make sure y'all focused. We doing the thing. Monarchs of Wrestling. And guess what, y'all? We at 97. So that means 3 more episodes. Blockbuster 100th episode. And it'll be fun. We'll have some special guests on. And we'll be having a good time discussing pro wrestling. Yolanda was a few more comments here. Yolanda says I was going to watch it regardless on my tangent about Street Fighter. And she says Street Fighter it is. I know that's right, Yolanda. I was going to watch it either way too. I watch Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, about every 2 months. Religiously. I know everything. All the words and everything. Fights, everything. Still going to watch it. That's what I do. I'll be watching all the Mortal Kombat stuff too, though. Don't front. It's not an either or for me. It's a both. And again, shout out Real Wise Radio. All the different places you can see us. You may actually be seeing this on Rumble as well. Cold as Ice Productions. So several different places that you can catch Monarchs of Wrestling. Make sure you tap it in, but make sure you bring it back to the essence at some point. Check us out on YouTube. Either at Shady Sports Network, if you're already there. At Real Play Calls, if you're already on both of them. At Playmakers Blog. If you're already on 3 of them, go tell somebody else to come and do all 3.
And remember, Monarchs of Wrestling is now in audio form as well. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio.
And as always, it is never where you start. It is always where you finish. The boys will be back next week. Y'all be here with us. Bring somebody else. As a matter of fact, bring 2 or 3 people. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know how it is. We'll see y'all next week.